Election is only 5 days away. Joining us this morning with his analysis is TJ Zane of the Lincoln Club of San Diego County. TJ, good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning, Sally. Thanks for having me.
Okay, so your group has more than 350 members and obviously very significant influence here in the county. How do you decide as a group who do you support?
Well, the members have a say in who the organization endorses. We have a process by which members participate in a political action committee. We take candidate questionnaires and run candidate interviews for an endorsement. And we've made a number of endorsements this election cycle, not just in the city of San Diego, but in the city of Chula Vista and El Cajon as well.
Can you tell us who you have endorsed?
We've endorsed candidates for City Council in San Diego: Scott Sherman in District 7, Ray Ellis in District 1. Of course, we're leading the charge on the Proposition B campaign for pension reform in San Diego. We're very supportive of Proposition A. In the city of El Cajon, we're supportive of Proposition D, the city charter initiative. And in the city of Chula Vista, we're supportive of the re-election of Councilwoman Pamela Bensusan for City Council, also London Meservey with who's a first-time candidate for Chula Vista City Council.
What about for mayor? Have you endorsed anybody for San Diego mayor?
We have not endorsed in the race for mayor. It was a deal that was struck over 12 months ago when the club agreed that it would focus all of its time and energies on passing Proposition B, the pension reform initiative, without mixing mayoral politics into it. So we are focused on that, and we hope that we'll be able to make an endorsement after the primary.
TJ, speaking of Proposition B, since you brought it up, your group has thrown significant financial support behind it. Can you explain a little bit about why you support it?
Sure. It's critical for the financial future of the city of San Diego. Getting pension reform passed means that the city will be able to focus on other priorities throughout the city, reopen parks, restore library hours, reinstate the amount and level of public safety that we as a public want to see happen in our city. So it's a comprehensive pension reform initiative. It puts in place a new 401k style plan for all new employees. It makes it a fair contribution on the part of employees across the board to their pension system. It's the right thing to do for San Diego, and it's important that voters pass this so we can move on to bigger and better things.
We just had a mayoral face-off here just a few days ago. Congressman Bob Filner, who was here talking about it on that day, he's running for the mayor of San Diego. He calls the ballot measure a fraud. I want you to take a listen, and then I'll get your reaction.
Sure.
I oppose Proposition B. It's not only unfair. It puts employees who do not have Social Security, so it's not like a 401k that's in private industry, and says you're on your own after 20 or 30 years. That's wrong. But it doesn't solve anything. Mr. DeMaio says he'd work on it for years. He comes out with a thing that doesn't put one penny into the general fund. I have a plan which takes advantage of the lowest interest rates we've ever had in our nation. I can refinance our debt, put over $550 million into the general fund in the first 10 years, and fix the potholes, keep our libraries open, keep our fire stations open, and finally turn the page on pension reform.
All right, your reaction and your predictions for what's going to happen on the 5th of June.
Well, first, my prediction is pension reform Proposition B will pass. It's no surprise that Congressman Filner, who is supported by the very same labor unions who oppose Proposition B, is opposed to Proposition B. His plan to refinance the debt is just another way of saying re-kicking the can down the road, which is what city politicians have done for years. So I'm confident that the initiative will pass on Tuesday, and I think by a not insignificant margin.
All right, TJ Zane of the Lincoln Club of San Diego County, good to see you. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Shelley.
All right, it's 6:45. If you're just waking up, let's get you over to Chrissy to see how your weather's shaping up for this Friday.